What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I filmed a 10-minute makeup routine for those of you who like to sleep a little too late in the morning and wake up a little late for work and school. This is the makeup routine for you. Now, a side note, I just want to mention, hopefully you guys can notice in this video, my video quality is a little better than in my previous videos. We did get a new camera. This camera also has autofocus, which I'm so thrilled about because of the fact that I've been struggling for years with my old camera with the autofocus. It drove me nuts that it did not have that on there. So happy that I finally have it with this new camera. This is the Canon 80D, if you were wondering. We also did invest in some new lighting and backdrops in the back. So let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this whole new setup. I do mention at the end of the video that I will have a more consistent filming and uploading schedule. So once I get in the swing of that, I will let you guys know in the process of teaching my boyfriend how to edit, because that way he can edit my videos while I do my Instagram thing, and I will have, you know, content consistently uploading on both platforms. But yeah, so let's get into the video. I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna swing over to that. But first, if you have not already subscribed to me, please do so down below before you go. The subscribe button is on one side of this screen. I'm gonna say over here, but don't quote me if I'm wrong, don't at me. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button if you are already subscribed, that way you get a notification every time I post. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so to start off, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Cover FX blurring primer. I've been really liking this for the past few months, and I will probably end up repurchasing this once I do run out, but I'm gonna go ahead and mainly focus it in the areas where I get oily, which is my T-zone. And I do usually like to press in to my pores, like right around my nose. That way it looks really flawless and as smooth as possible, because I do have an issue with like larger pores like in this area. So I do like to push in my primer in this area. So that's what I'm gonna do here. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you already know that I like to go in with a brighter concealer on my eyes before I put my foundation on, and then I will go ahead and put another layer of concealer afterwards. This is the Benefit Boing Brightening Concealer. It looks like a little eraser, it's really cute, but I just like go ahead and put my finger and just do a really quick one of these. If I'm in a rush in the morning, I'm not gonna go ahead and make sure all of this is super perfect, because I do tend to take a lot of time when I am taking my time to do my makeup, and if you're in a rush in the morning, you're not going to be sitting here trying to do everything, you know, to a T. But next I'm going to take my NYX HD Studio foundation. This is in the shade Soft Beige, and it does look just like this. It's actually a really good foundation from the drugstore. I was actually really impressed the first time that I used this. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that and put that all over. And this is a little bit on a lighter side because I am pretty pale at the moment. And just going in with my beauty blender, quickly just pouncing that all over. I'm gonna go back in with just a little bit more. I would say this foundation is light to medium and it's buildable coverage, but you definitely don't want to be putting a lot, especially if you're, like I said, in a rush. So I will just usually go in with 2 layers max. Don't forget to bring it down your neck, because even though you're in a rush, you definitely want to make sure you're still blended. And I find that in the morning, my foundation and concealer is mainly what takes the most time for me. And then my brows come in like third. This foundation gives off a really nice satin finish too. So if you like more of a more natural looking foundation, I would definitely recommend that. If your price point is in a drugstore range, that's a really good foundation. I always like to set it though, because I find that it slides off really easily. So that's something to keep in mind when you are using that foundation if you do plan on purchasing. I'm just gonna go ahead and spot conceal with my NARS concealer. This is the Soft Matte in Ginger, and I have a few breakouts that are like bothering me around here, so I'm just gonna cover them up a little bit. And then before I finish that off, I'm just gonna hit it with this one time. Moving on to concealer, I'm gonna grab my Shape Tape. This is in light neutral, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of this. And when I pounce out my concealer on my under eye, always, if I'm not wearing any eye makeup, I will bring it all the way around, like I'll blend it as much as I can under the eye, and then I will bring it around and on top of the lid, like so. You definitely want to be gentle when you're pouncing it on your eyeballs, because you don't want to smack or like dab on your eyeballs really rough, because that's no bueno. Okay, so the longest part of my routine is already over. I'm just gonna go ahead and powder. For my under eyes, I do like to use the Kat Von D translucent with a little fluffy brush like this. This is from Real Techniques, and I will literally just dab in, tap off the excess, and hit myself with one of these. And go down on the nose. I'll literally just set anything that I just put concealer on with this powder. And then with my face powder, I'll go ahead and use the Laura Mercier, but before moving on to that, I'm just gonna hit this with my Beauty Blender one more time, because I do like to melt my powder into my concealer, because I feel like that gives it a really nice smooth finish. It also gives it longer wear time for me, so I do like to melt my powders into my concealer. All right, now I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier with a big brush like this. This is from Real Techniques as well. I'm gonna tap a little into the cap, and then I'm just gonna swirl my brush into the cap. I'm not a super huge fan of dewy or like foundations that look luminous, just because of the fact that they don't last as long for me. So I will go ahead and use those foundations, but I'll always powder afterwards. But moving on, I'm gonna go ahead and start bronzing up the face, because I'm looking white as hell right now. And I'm gonna use my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. It looks like this. This is actually a really good drugstore bronzer. I'm really impressed with it, and it smells like coconuts. So if you like coconut smelled, it kind of smells like the beach. Like it has like that tropical, like coconutty smell. That's what it reminds me of every time I use it. I love it. And this brush is from Morphe. This is the R7 brush. It's a really big powder brush. I like it just because it covers a large surface area in like one fell swoop. Like I can hit this, and hit this all in like one dab. And of course we're gonna contour the nose, because what makeup look would be complete without it. Just quickly hitting the sides, and I'm just gonna flip the brush over and blend that out. Now this brush, you're probably wondering where it's from. This is an Anastasia brush, like one of the brushes that come in the palettes from them. I don't typically gravitate towards the brushes that come in palettes, but for some reason I found a use for this. I don't know how I came up with like thinking to use it as like a nose contour brush, but one day I started using it as that, and I never looked back. So just a little tip if you guys are like me and don't use the brushes that come with those sets, but it's good to have the one side to blend it out, and then the one side that be a little more precise. So I do like these little brushes for this purpose. Having multi-purpose products when you're getting ready in the morning in a rush is key, because you can use this bronzer and literally flip your brush over, use the fluffy side, and just hit your crease with a little bit of color just like this. Now moving on, I'm gonna put some blush on. This is the ColourPop Flushed Blush. This is from the K-pop collection that they came out with a little while ago now. But I've recently been really in love with this blush, so that's what I'm going to use today. It has like a nice little shimmer to it, and I'm going to use this brush also from Real Techniques and just like blend it around and hit my cheeks with a little color. Moving on to brows, I'm going to grab my Anastasia brow powder in Granite, and I'm just going to use the lighter side of the duo, and I'm just going to brush out my brows really quickly and hit them with this. I mainly like to line the under part of my brow and just kind of feather up the rest of the product. And then I will literally just take my spoolie and brush everything down and just get like mainly this part of my brow and fill that in. And then when you're done, you just want to go ahead and comb through all of your brows just to make sure they're all kind of going in the same direction, and to see if you left any sparse areas that need to still get filled. But looking pretty okay for now. Moving on, I'm gonna now go through and spray myself down. This is the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray, and I'm just gonna get rid of that powderiness. Just bathe yourself in it, it's cool. But while this is still kind of wet, I'm gonna go ahead and use my highlight, and this is the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Gold. And this is a bomb concealer from the drugstore. This is the best concealer from the drugstore I have ever come across. Like, it's so freaking blinding once you hit it on the skin, even when it's dry. It's bizarre, but like, I love it. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit at the tip of the nose and right at the top of the bridge of my nose. And then just a little bit in the cupid's bow. Like, look at that. Look at this highlight. Can we just take a moment, please? Because, oof. And at this point, I'm gonna take what's left on my blush brush and just kind of blend in my blush to my highlight. Because I definitely don't like that line of demarcation where like you can see just like a strip of highlight and then where my blush starts. So I like to kind of unify them both together. Now I'm gonna move on to eye makeup, and I already have the crease color in the inner corner. I'm actually gonna take a really small brush and put a little bit of this highlight in the inner corners of my eye just to brighten up my eyes a little bit, make them look a little bit more awake. I'm gonna hit my eyelashes with a curler and some mascara, and then I will be done. I usually like to tight line and then put some mascara on. You can put false lashes on, but if you're in a rush, obviously you're not gonna be worrying about false eyelashes. But if it were me, I would take the extra few minutes and put the lashes on, which I don't know, I'm deciding. I might still do in this video, might not, we'll see. I probably will. And as far as mascara goes, I'm gonna use the Ico Black Magic Mascara. And it just looks like this. It comes in this really cute little tube, and it has a curved wand, which actually makes for a really good application because you don't have that really straight wand. This kind of goes with the natural curvature of your eye, so it's really easy to just get in there in one fell swoop and cover all of your lashes at one time. And this mascara is a little bit more wetter formula, so if you don't like that kind of formula for your mascaras, you might not want to buy this, but I'm into it because I feel like I can work with it a little bit more, and it also prevents me from getting like those spider lashes as well. So I do like the wetter formulas. Moving on to lips, I'm gonna grab the Morphe X Orpha Zenali Vinyl Lip Liner. I love this lip set. The lip liner with the liquid lip is everything to me. But I'm just gonna grab the lip liner that it comes with, and I'm just gonna quickly run through my lips here. And I'm gonna fill them in a little bit in the corners. And then I just like to take my finger and kind of further blend it out, just because that makes it look a little bit more natural. And then I'm gonna take my favorite gloss of all time. Oh my god, if you guys have watched my Rihanna Fenty beauty review video, raved about this gloss, still using it, still loving it. And I love this gloss paired with the lip liner that I just used. It just looks so good to me, like, oh my god, I'm dying. All right, so at this point in the routine, I would stop and be out the door if I were in a rush. But let's say you have an extra 5 to 10 minutes to spare, you could definitely go ahead and pop on some lashes. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, just to give you guys a little bit extra. And the lashes that I'm gonna use are the Becca lashes by Vicky lashes, and they just kind of look like this. Maybe I should take them out of the box so you can see what they look like a little better. But they are kind of like a natural lash, and I have already used these, so if you see a little bit of like lash glue or anything like that on them, that's why. I have used them already, but you know, you definitely want to make sure that you cut your lashes to size, because if not, that's when you're going to get that really annoying like poking in your inner corner, which nobody's a fan of. I'm going to take a white liner. Well, this is like a faux white liner from NYX. This is in the color Mint Cream, and I'm just going to pop that into the inner waterline here. And just like when we applied the highlight into the inner corner of our eyes, this is also going to help brighten up our eyes and make us look a little bit more awake. So I do like to do this even if I'm not putting on false lashes, just to not look like the Grim Reaper in the morning, you know what I'm saying? All right, so since we're on the hypothetical tip right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit my brows with some brow gel. This brow gel that I'm actually using right now is the Ico Brow Gel Style and Define. I really like this brow gel just because of the fact that it doesn't give me like that really crunchy gel down brow feeling like the Anastasia clear brow gel does. So I mean, this look really does not take long in the morning to do, 10-15 minutes if you are gonna add the extra, you know, brow gel and lashes at the end. But like I said, 10-15 minutes tops if you are in a rush. Like I said, multi-purpose products are key. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will be coming back with more videos. I do plan on having a more consistent filming schedule coming up soon. So please subscribe and stay on the lookout for that. I have really fun things planned. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I will put my link over here where you could follow me if you are not following me already, and it will also be linked down below. But if you are following me on Instagram, you know already that I do really crazy like designs and drawings and stuff on my eyes. So I do plan on filming some of those just so you guys can kind of see like the behind the scenes and kind of get a feel for what goes into those eye looks. Like they literally take forever, but they come out so awesome looking. So I would love for you guys to see that. I know I have gotten requests on Instagram for a video, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already. My Twitter will also be linked down below, so you can follow me on there as well. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.